how's it going?
Good, very good.
How's the conference so far? You like it?
I think everyone's like it so far.
I hope so. So listen, I had so many conversations with customers, during lunch. And we were talking about the AI tools and everything we're embedding into the workflows and everything. And one of them asked me about, okay, but what about transparency? We don't want a black box. Did you have several conversations like that?
Okay, this is very interesting because I have some questions and in different approach, more on how to create trust, for customer service. Right. So very, very interesting approach. What about you, Tomer?
Totally agree. I also facing the same issues and problems. Customers talking with me in the modeling domain that facing issues of transparency. And it seems that we have an audience here. Hello to everyone. Hope that you are enjoying our little conversation here. But please join us and let's all of us see together why explainability is such an important topic, especially in the insurance domain, and of course how we at Earnix addressing it. But first, let's understand together what kind of value explainability providing us. First of all, transparency, as we mentioned. When everything is clear and transparent, there is no black box. Everything, we can understand the behavior of the model, the bottom line of it, and for that we have a better sense of ownership because it's clear. Second, data-driven decision. When everything is transparent and explainable, we don't need to guess. The decisions that we are taking are calculated, are based on data. And third, trust and confidence. But everything is clear, everything is transparent, the decisions are calculated, all parties understand everything, so everyone are satisfied, including the end customers as well. Now let's go over and see how we at Earnix addressing explainability. Noga?
Sure. So obviously, Earnix applies certain tools for better explainability throughout all of our solutions. But today, we're going to focus on 3 of them. Tomer, Joanna, and myself will each talk about how explainability manifests itself into one of our areas of responsibility. And we're going to walk you through, as I said, 3 solutions and answer questions such as, let's say it's time to adapt my underwriting strategy. Where should I begin? What is the right place to change? And how can I know that I'm making the right decision? And let's assume that part of the changes is bringing in an external model, like Tomer showed in the previous session about Model Accelerator. How can I make sure that this model is something that I actually understand, and I understand its features and how it works? And lastly, let's say I already deployed a new strategy, pricing strategy, underwriting strategy. How can you effectively communicate the changes to your customers? So let's start with underwriting. In case you haven't known me before, in case you weren't here for the first part, my name is Noga Aloni. I'm a product director at Earnix. But let's move on. It's not about me. Let's dive into underwriting explainability. I think for me, when I think about the meaning of explainability in underwriting, is essentially how can I make the best strategic decision? A question or business question I might have is, my average demand is going down. What should I change in my underwriting policy or my underwriting strategy in order to fix that? So in order to know exactly what to do, I need to understand what are the variables or the features that actually impact my KPI, in this case, my demand. Earnix allows you to do it in 3 steps. First, drill down into the selected KPI that you want to understand better during what we call Underwriting Impact Simulations. And don't worry, I will show it. Second, identify which variables are the ones that actually affect that KPI or any selected metric. And third, I want to be able to actually gain those insights or actionable insights, essentially telling me what should I do in order to make the right decision. Want to see it in action? All right. Okay, so this is our Underwriting Impact Simulation module, in case you haven't seen it before. And in this case, let's assume that I've already have a base strategy, or what we call underwriting version, and I'm trying out different changes to see how they impact my business outcomes. For example, here I've been trying different acceptance criteria when it comes to young drivers. So I see that when I change the eligibility age for new drivers, my average risk, driver risk has went down, which is a good thing. But the amount of written premium and policies sold went down as well. So what would be the best way for me to actually kind of fix that outcome without all this trial and error? And by the way, being able to see both my underwriting KPIs and my pricing KPIs in the same place is the benefit of having both underwritten and priced. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create an explainability report. That report will help me understand what are the main features that impact the KPIs that I want to see, in this case, the written premium. I can either choose the base case or the scenarios that I already make. I want to start from scratch. I want to start from the base case. And you can see the different KPIs that I can look at, and I will choose the written premium. We'll click it. All right. It may take a few minutes, and therefore, meanwhile, I can actually go back to the scenarios. I can maybe create other scenarios. I can segment them. I can analyze my result even better, and kind of wait for earnings to tell me, okay, your report is ready. It's ready. Okay. Now I can I don't have to guess. Now I can see what are the main features that have impact on the amount of written premium. And I can see these are features that has to do with the, type of car, the car age. Actually, if you remember before in my scenarios, I was trying to change features around the driver, but actually the car is the main impact on my outcomes. So just to sum it up, this explainability report really lets me understand what's going on in this model underneath. How does it act? How does it behave? And how can I influence it to really get to the strategy that I'm looking for? Tomer, do you want to go next?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right. So let's go on and see what kind of value we are providing in the modeling in terms of explainability. So as Noga mentioned, just a quick update, make sure. My name is Tomer, and I'm a product manager, and I'm leading the analytical initiative. And for us, explainability in the modeling area is an important topic, especially when handling models from outside. When we are handling external models and we are importing them, they usually behave as a black box, meaning we have a very difficult ability to understand the behavior. No transparency, no ability to understand the bottom line, which ultimately may reduce the willingness of the user to use those models, especially when we are comparing it to internal models that we are building in its side. But now, users that using Model Accelerator will be able to get better transparency over them, because we will transform those models from a black box behavior to a glass box, meaning full transparency, ability to understand their impact and the feature behavior inside of it. Currently supporting H2O model, and soon Onyx to follow. This ability will also allow us to better understand the features' impact on the model predictions with a very clear widget that also presenting us the contribution of those features. The contribution could be positive, it could be negative, or it could be natural, for example, for categorical features. And all of this information will be presented in a report-style format that's very easy to understand, and also it's being saved inside of a new section that you will be able to access it when needed. So in the end, all of these capabilities will allow us better sense of ownership over our external models, more trust, more understanding, and everything is being done by utilizing advanced analytics. And let me show you how it's being done. So what we are seeing here, as you remember from the previous session, this is the main screen of Model Accelerator. We have the list of all of our models. I already imported a model, an H2O model. Let me show it to you. This is the model, very limited information inside of it. Of course, we passed the validation, if you remember from the previous session, and now I want to make it a glass box. So I will go to the model analysis. In the model analysis, I will create a new report type. This time I will take the explainability instead of the comparison. I will give it a name. I will click next. Very easy wizard. I will choose the relevant model. And then I will choose the relevant data table that will help me to analyze the model. Very easy. Clicking next. I will map the features. Everything is being already mapped. And I will click the preview. And from there, the report will be created. Everything is fine. Run analysis. Few minutes, really. And the report should be ready. That's it. Let's open it now. And now we will be able to better understand our model. It will become a glass box. As you can see, first of all, the main widget showing us the feature contribution. If it's positive, negative, natural, everything is super clear. Above that, I can also drill down into specific features and better understand the impact of them inside and their behavior. Everything is very easy, very simple to understand. And if needed, I have additional button that clicking of it will provide me an AI explanation over the results. So as I mentioned before, in a sense, we're getting a second opinion, second explanation, very simple to understand. So you can go over it, and it's also being reflected in a way that you can review both results at the same time. In one end, we can see the report, and in the second one, we have the AI explanation. Very simple to understand. And that's it. The explanation is there, and I can go back, and all of the reports are being saved for us. Let's summarize it. Now, when users are using Model Accelerator and they are importing the models, they can better understand the model behavior. We are transferring them from a black box nature into a glass box. Everything is being transparent, regardless of the complexity of the model. In a sense, if we are combining this with the previous session, now Model Accelerator is a truly one-stop shop for all of your external models. We are allowing you an easy mechanism to import your models, validate the compatibility inside of the system, alert you in case issues were detected, and also how to mitigate them by yourself. And third, provide you the ability to better understand the model behavior with the explainability reports. Joanna, how we are using explainability during the customer engagement?
Thank you. Thank you, Tomer. So we are going to navigate in how explainability can be useful for customer service representatives. So I am Joanna Moreno. If you didn't see me before in the previous session, I'm the head of product at Celros, and I'm been focusing on customer-facing solutions and GenAI solutions for a more user-friendly perspective. So why is explainability important to customer service? So just let's take the context here. So the use case. There is a renewal of the contract and the premium increase. Okay? So the customer is going to naturally goes to the customer service and ask why my premium changed. And this is I can say, one of the very sensitive topic for the customer representative to try to understand and explain this to the customer. The problem here is that behind these decisions and premium changes, there are complex predictive models that the advisor sometimes doesn't understand, are too technical to explain. So these create multiple problems. The first one is that customers don't trust what they cannot understand. So if we don't come with clear reason to the customer, he will lose confidence, he will lose trust, and probably going to result on a churn. The second problem here is that advisors are taking too much time trying to make sense of these predictive models instead of focusing on high valuable outcomes of advising, upselling, cross-selling, and many more. The third problem here is the increasing of operational cost, because he needs to understand the model, navigating in complex reports, and so this will increase handling times and escalations to other expert teams. And the last one is compliance. So in insurance and financial services, explaining why it's not just a nice to have, it's a legal requirement. So we are going to use generative AI to helping us with an AI agent expert that we see in previous sessions to provide a better service for customer service representatives. Let's jump into the demo. Let's imagine I'm an advisor, and I'm going to have a meeting with one of my clients in a few minutes. So I'm going to connect to my CRM, I'm going to deep dive, and the application is going to raise me an alert saying me, hey, the premium changed, you must prepare your meeting. Which is important here is that we are giving insights ready to use with the main factors that contributed that premium change in a very personalized way for this customer. So the agent doesn't need to go through complex reports. But the agent also has the GenAI platform to navigate and ask in natural language, probably give me the variables that contributed the change on this vehicle, give me the factors, comparing those quotes to understand better why the premium changed. So here we see that I can rebound, I can navigate, and ask more questions. And the agent is simply going to take those reports, like this one calculation worksheet, to navigate and give, in a more user-friendly way, the explanations and the information. So let's wrap up. In 1 minute, we saw an agent that can provide you quicker access to information. So this has many impacts. We are reducing the handling times. We are improving the first resolution time. And of course, we are building trust on AI decisions, not only for the customer, because he's receiving a better customer experience, but also supporting the customer service representatives with the good tools to operate in the daily basis. So we have seen with Noga, Tomer, 3 different ways of explainability around 3 different parts of the solution. This approach of explainability can be applied to other range of use cases. We are happy, of course, to see you and reach us out if you have any questions, if you have any other ideas or use cases where explainability can be put in place. Yes, so these are the 3 products, Underwriting, Accelerator, and Calculation Worksheet. So that's it for me. Thank you very much.